As an optical communication solution supplier with global turnkey experience, FiberHome can offer a comprehensive product solutions and just also provide customers with end-to-end service, including business planning, network planning, project management, and it has strong resource support. FiberHome is the only enterprise which independently develops and produces active equipment, optical cables, ODN products, and auxiliary materials in the industry. Compared to other companies, FiberHome can more effectively lower project product costs and provide highly cost-effective customized products that meet customer demands by relying on the advantage of independent production of all series of products. Meanwhile, FiberHome guarantees excellent quality control and after-sale services.
When imagination ran away with me, it took me by the hand and led me away on an adventure adults wouldn't understand. It showed me glorious green forests and silvery snow-capped mountains, ancient ruins and relics, and exploding fantastical fountains. It took me to a magical world where dragons roam, cauldrons foam, and children saved the world alone. It showed me what the world could be if no one put restraints on me.
By 2030, the world as we know it will be dramatically transformed. The metaverse will open up endless opportunities across consumer, enterprise, and industrial sectors. Digital physical fusion and human augmentation will transform how people interact in a combined physical and digital reality. None of this will be possible without the network. It will need to become more intelligent, dynamic, scalable, and secure, evolving to enable a rich multi-party value ecosystem that will unleash innovation and opportunity, creating sustainable solutions for some of the world's biggest challenges, all made possible through Nokia's innovations. This is our vision for 2030. Together, we're creating the future.
Hybrid work is here. It's there. It's everywhere. But for someone to be able to work from here or here, there has to be someone here, making sure everything is safe, secure, consistent. So go ahead, log in from here, dial in from here, sit in from here, assured that someone is here with a view of everywhere, ready to fix anything, anytime, anywhere. Even here. That's because nobody, and I mean nobody, makes hybrid work better. Cisco, the bridge to possible.
What does a reliable internet connection mean for your business?
It means quicker fulfillment through accurate and timely shipment tracking.
It means smoother operations and upgrading my business to be future ready.
It means stronger security for convenience and worry-free transactions.
It means better customer experience. When via system, anytime, anywhere.
It means easier management, even in a hybrid learning environment.
for me, it means happier customers. With a trusted partner who helps me grow my business.
Hello, everyone. We would like to welcome all of you back to the second session of the Tech Leadership Forum. My name is Hani Obusan, bringing you another round of insightful talks on building a digital nation through next wave smart cities. Now, building a digital nation requires infrastructure and technology that's inclusive, connected, and smart. And to join the next wave of digital cities, we need to understand the concept, framework, and requisites of becoming one. Now, we need to assess, of course, our province, city, or municipality, and its current level of maturity, development, and progress, and explore the next steps necessary to enable, empower, elevate, and enhance the ease of doing business and improve the quality of life. And how, right? By leveraging smart infrastructure and smart technology. Of course, this session is brought to us by PLDT Enterprise, Smart, ePLDT, and PLDT Global, and co-presented by FiberHome. We would also like to thank our official event sponsors. Now we look forward to your post about the event on your social media accounts, and make sure to use our official event hashtag, which is PHDigicon 2022. Make sure as well that you accomplish our survey form, because you automatically qualify for the raffle once you fill it out and submit it. So now let us kickstart the session with the welcome remarks from none other than the changemaker, Mayor of Pasay City, Mayor Imelda Calixto-Rubiano.
A smart and sustainable morning to one and all. Today, we start our road to building a digital nation through next wave smart cities. A momentous event in such a crucial time in all our lives as we move further away from the pandemic and dive deep into the new and better normal. We thank PLDT Enterprise for paving the way for this very important discourse and take on how we can level up and progress as agencies, municipalities, and cities. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to not only our DICT, but also to Pasay City. In Pasay City, we have a grand vision that is but fitting to our DICT today. Being recognized for economic dynamism, our view of environmental consciousness goes hand in hand with the continuous economic prowess that the city has proven to achieve and will continue to surpass. In the near future, we see Pasay City as the country's first ever smart and sustainable eco-city. An eco-city whose economy will be going leaps and bounds and continuously flourishing. Our city's first step in becoming a smart city is upon us. The Pasay City that you see today is only mere bits and pieces of what we can be in the future. This is where our trust for collaboration and interagency integration plays a major role in. being open to such, and we are led to becoming a city that is not only progressive, but also innovative. We join other municipalities and relevant agencies in laying a strong foundation in smart provinces through technological and digital infrastructure. Truly, when our ideas and innovations have one specific goal, the future will really look brighter as ever. Soon, we can finally see our beloved country among other developed nations that have successfully integrated economic and socio-cultural growth with environmentally sound platforms and sustainable interplay of digitalization and technology. With this, it is with great excitement, motivation, and inspiration that we welcome you to today's DigiCon. Join us as we build the foundations of a future that is bright, globally competitive, and environmentally sound. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much, Mayor Imelda. Now, if we are ever going to transform into a digital nation, everyone must work together to understand what needs to be done to achieve the status of a smart city. With that, our first talk will center on the province of Cavite and its vision to become a smart province. How is Cavite laying the groundwork for technological and digital infrastructure to achieve this goal? Well, let's find out from the earnest governor of the province of Cavite himself. Please welcome Governor Juanito Victor Jonvic Remulla.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. Just to introduce myself, I am Juanito Victor Remulla Jr. I am not Juanito Remulla III. Junior is in front of you. The third is in a resort called Pidea down there in Taft Avenue, I think. Okay, just to make things clear. Just to make things clear also, there are 3 Remullas in public service, and I am the least known amongst all of us. The most famous among all of us is my eldest brother, Secretary of Justice Boying. He topped the bar in 1987 without studying. Sa aming mga kapatid, siya yung pinakamatalino. The second one, who is equally as popular, was the former Congressman of Cavite and now PAGCOR Director. He was a choir member and a sacristan in St. Andrew's Parish back in our youth. Si Gilbert, siya naman ang pinakamabait sa aming magkakapatid. I am governor. This is my 4th term as governor. Hindi naman ako katalinuhan, hindi rin ako kabaitan. Ako lang ang pinakamaganda lalaki sa aming 4. Tatlo. Just to further, I was asked to speak here about smart cities, but I thought I was the least qualified because there's not really much I can share. When it comes to tech, I can't set up my own phone. My wife does it for me. I can't make my own PowerPoint. I really can't even work my own computer, as someone else always has to help me. But what I do know is governance. And that's what I'm here to speak to you about. I cannot dazzle you about what it takes to make a smart city, what components get into it. I cannot speak about this world and the next, about wearables, about IoTs, about what's the most advanced smart city and what the rest of the country has to offer. None of that. I cannot speak about any of that. because it's simply not in my specialty. What I do know is how to set it up. What I do know is how to make it begin. What I do know is how to tell the story of how Cavite began all of this. Back in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, my brother was governor then, but we had already started initiating the, it's called Lingkod Caviteño, to make a vision to make Cavite the most interconnected province in the entire country. But there were so many hurdles along the way. And conclusion number one that I found out, and I'm sorry to all my fellow government workers here, the first conclusion that I got when setting up a smart city is that government is the problem. And I'm sure that all of you here will agree that government is the problem. Give you a few numbers. Vietnam has 30,000 cell sites. 30,000. Of equal size, of almost equal population, the Philippines has 7,000. Why? Many theories abound. Number one, the Philippines fell in love with SMS very early, which requires less bandwidth, and that is why we have less towers. But number two, it's the government which gives a hard time to the telcos in setting up the towers here in the Philippines. How does it work? How does it work? When a telco wants to expand and to provide a service to a municipality to connect the rest of the barangays, representative goes to the mayor. Mayor says, it's up to the barangay captain. Representative goes to the barangay captain. Barangay captain says, it's up to the mayor. In the end, someone will approach the representative and said, Eddie will take care of it. You know what Eddie is? Eddie sa akin. Diba? So there is always a middleman in governance which makes things easier. When it should be the other way around. It should be the LCE who makes things as easy as possible. So I studied it. How do I do this? I have 829 barangays in over 240,000 hectares with a population of 4 million people. What are the hindrances to all of this? The minute we announce that we are going to interconnect the entire province, 829 people will take interest. 23 mayors will take interest. The conversation will start. Paano kami? What did I do? I made it a provincial project. I made it a provincial imperative that all telcos will be allowed to put up their lines, to put up their cables under the auspices of the Office of the Governor. It became a provincial project. Whenever a barangay captain would go in front and say, Teka muna, they would show a letter, it's a provincial project. So all the major telcos set up a redundant system around the country, around the province, and I think PLDT can attest that you have a redundancy system 3 times over, Globe has a redundancy system twice over, Converge the same. All of that without any hindrance from any public official. And we did it in the record of 2 years. I think we did it in the record of 2 years. Then came the Lingkod Caviteño project. Lingkod Caviteño project is our first step into creating a smart city. A lot of the provinces here and a lot of the cities say, we want a smart city. What happens? Vendors go to them, sell them a product. They say, I want this. They bid it. What happens? 9 out of 10, it does not work. When it doesn't work, the next administration comes in, they say, I want my own system. And the two systems don't work together. Why? Because there was never a foundation to speak with. There was never a backbone to speak with. So what did we do? We set the backbone first. I may have a small story about this. I remember when we said we're finally going to have it bid out. And a representative of one of the companies met me at the Raffles Hotel. And I was speaking to the owner. I was speaking to the manager and one of his friends. And while we were speaking, I went to the bathroom. On my way back from the bathroom, the friend pulls me aside, sits me on the table in a chair and says, "Pare, may pag-uusapan tayo." Sabi ko, "Ano yun?" Sabi niya, "Meron tayo dito." Sabi ko, "Anong meron dito?" Sabi niya, "Meron tayo dito, may campaign funds tayo dito." I said, "Ganun ba?" So I promptly excused myself. I took my leave from the principal. I stood up. I walked out of the hotel. I crossed the road. I entered the PLDT office. I looked for my friends there. I went to them and I said, "I have a project. I want you to bid. I want you to bid at the best possible price. I want you to give me the best possible service. And I don't want you to give anything to anyone to make this work. But bid. I'm not going to give it to you, but bid." Bidding time came. All the companies bidded. And PLDT gave the best bid among all of them. And I can proudly say that the relationship has been solid because it is found on mutual trust and respect. The foundation to making a smart city is really integrity. You have to have integrity in your leadership, and you have to have integrity in your system. Both have to match. If one does not accompany the other, it's not going to work. What happened? After 3 years, we are 829 barangays fully connected. 4 million residents, 1 million homes, ability to subscribe. 400 schools fully connected. All hospitals fully connected. 800 barangay halls fully connected. And all for free. We did this as a cost, not as not something to earn from. Why? Because we felt that if we invested in connecting to the very last barangay hall, then all the fiber cable will be laid out. It will be all there. And if all the fiber cable is laid out to the last barangay, to the last covered courts, then all the homes will have access to it. And what happened now? Cavite is the most connected province in the entire country. So of all of you who dream about having a smart city, start from the basics. Start the backbone. Start with integrity. Start with laying down what is right, what is needed to connect, and then go from there. Don't go for the pie in the sky. Don't go for the great solutions just yet, because solutions are useless if they are not applicable. That is why they call them apps, because they have to be applicable. Good evening, good morning. Thank you to all of you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Governor Jonvic. Now that we do have a grasp of how Cavite has been working towards becoming a smart province and city, let's go macro and delve into the Philippines' commitment to support the growth and development of smart city projects. To tell us about how the government delivers on this promise, let me invite on stage the ever-persevering Undersecretary for E-Government at the Department of Information and Communication Technology, Undersecretary David L. Almirol.
Good morning, everyone. As mentioned by our beloved Cavite Governor, solutions are useless without application, without its implementability also and doability. So if Governor Remulla is the one doing the commanding or the e-governance, So I am the guy who's beside him. Okay, since I am a full stack programmer, so I think you don't need to be a techie, to really make sure that you're able to implement an e-government initiatives. You just need to identify the problem, and then as an accomplishment of our beloved governor, he was able to implement a lot of things. Even he's not that techie, but he was able to delegate and choose the right partner. Okay. Nag-i-smile ang PLDT Gov. Anyway, good morning, everyone. So I'm really glad to be here. I don't want to speak about all of these. I want to make it very simple so that we're able to come up with a conclusion later on why the government is really excited to join this kind of events, the DigiCon of PLDT. Well, the ICT, we all know that we have a huge mandate, right? Not only policy, but including planning, coordination. And the biggest challenge here is actually implementation. And implementation is quite a challenge because even you develop a beautiful technology, without its proper implementation, we will fail. So, and after the implementation, the sustainability is also one of the challenges. Who's gonna continue it? Especially in the government, is quite changing most of the time, right? And the leadership is every 3 years or 6 years, the guards are all changing. So how could we sustain those innovations? So I would like to give you some insights along the way. So, well, under our initiative, we want to make it very simple. We don't want to tell you a story of a fairy tale story where all of us are all dreaming. I think better to start with the most doable and most implementable ones. Well, our dream is to have a digital Pilipinas, right? A digital Philippines. This is the adoption of digital transformation and innovation to our respective, not only in the government, including to our own respective organizations, right? Because nowadays, we cannot move without technology. We cannot process without technology. We cannot do business without technology. And even the government cannot actually govern without technology. That's why it's very important. Well, we have around 82 provinces. And Cavite is just one of that province. And the ICT is quite encompassing because most of the government agency, they are very focused. So if you are in Department of Agriculture, basically you focus on the agricultural stuff, right? All of those activities. If you are in trading industry, you might be focusing on commerce and trade. But in DICT, we need to work with everyone. And we are not a disruptor, we are an enabler. We are there to connect the gaps. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, all of the agencies, they need each other. The DA need the transportation. The DA need the DOF for cashless payments. The DA need also the trading industry. The DA also need other government agencies. They really need each other. So the e-governance perspective of the DICT is very important because we're here to identify what are the pain points and we should find ways to stitch them up. So that's our job. Not to disrupt, not to do their job, but we let their mandate help other ones' mandate because the government is actually interconnected, whether we like it or not. So, well, we have a lot of mandates, but allow me to focus on 3 things. The nation building through ICT. So, how are we gonna build a nation that is ICT enabled? In my own opinion, we don't need to replace anything. We just need to start what we have right now and then build from top. I think creating the backbone, as mentioned by Governor Remulla a while ago, is very important. Because most of us sometimes we focus on building verticals, but we forgot the horizontal side. And horizontal play is the safest. You know why? Because once your foundation is strong, you'll be able to build whatever you want on top of it. Or else, or if you're busy building vertical, if the foundations are frail and weak, those verticals will collapse, whether we like it or not. Okay, so, well, we are really focusing more on ease of doing business. But this word is actually also quite monstrous. Malaki to. Sobrang laki. And if you mention the word ease of doing business, this is not just about technology. This is also about process, about governance, about the leadership, the will of the leaders to implement something. You know, even if someone gave you a car, Even if it's a beautiful, expensive car, but if you don't know how to drive it, that car will not last long. Masisira yan. And of course, you need the gasoline. You need the connectivity. I was speaking with Governor Remulla a while ago. We're talking about, activating, they've done to the last mile, meaning it's not only on the city side, on the city-centric connectivity, but also down to the countryside or to the provincial side. That's very important because we cannot leave, anyone left behind. They need connectivity to process. They need connectivity to pay. They need connectivity to access education. They need connectivity to have all kinds of activities, not only government, but including private. So this is a very powerful Republic Act. This is the 11032, the Ease of Doing Business Act and Efficient Government Service Delivery. So again, this is not just an act. There should be an action point, how you're gonna implement this. And one thing I've learned for the past 2.5 months of my stay in the DICT is the government cannot do anything actually without the help of the private side. The private is actually the enabler also of the government, and the government can be an enabler of the private. So to cut the story short, we need each other. The government need the private need the government. But there's a difference. If you mention the word government officials, we are not the bosses. That's why we're called public servants. If you, inside a house, you have a maid. Basically, the maid is the government because they are the public servants. If you have a maid, our suggestion is you have also to be good to your maid so that the maid, will be inspired to work harder. Stop, because if you're trying to abuse your maid, criticizing everything that, mistakes that he committed, the maid might leave. The maid might not do their best. So we need also good bosses. We need your support. We need your appreciation. We need your inspiration. We need your help also the government so that you can clap also whatever small things that we've done, and then as public servants, we're able to do more. As we are inspired, we can do better. We can do more. That's the ease of doing business. And I'm sure you know about the new bill that's being reviewed right now, the House Bill 1738. So this is the E-Governance Act. I was worried a while ago because I thought Governor Remulla will discuss this. Naku, wala na akong presentation. But it's really true. E-governance is not about how high-tech your technology is. No. E-governance is identifying smaller problems, and you're able to identify simplified solutions. And then little by little, you can build on top of that. You don't need to have like a one-time, big-time solution, and then just one click, solve na lahat ng problema mo. Wala pong ganon. Wala pong perfectong technology, even in the government. That's why when I identified all the bloody problems of the government, I made PACES. We have PACES. I will discuss also later on. And I hope this bill will be, I was with NICT yesterday, and the president directed the ICT to really expedite and accelerate the digital transformation initiatives. And he mentioned about universal connectivity because this is very important. But the problem is, even you have a beautiful system or solution or software without connectivity, you are not actually connected. So the infra plus the solution should be one. In fact, in e-governance, it's really important to combine three things. The first is the software, of course. The second is the hardware, the infrastructure, or the connectivity. And lastly, the peopleware, the people who's gonna handle this, the people who's gonna maintain it, the people that is gonna enhance it and protect it. That's why peopleware is actually the life of the whole e-governance, not the technology itself. Anyway, I don't know if you're aware that we have a bureau inside the ICT. Like a Bureau of Immigration or a Bureau of Investigation. We have a bureau. I'm sure maybe some of you, it's your first time to hear this bureau. It's called the Government Digital Transformation Bureau. And we're able to restructure this. This is one of maybe the biggest accomplishment of the DICT between the Usec and the ASEC and our secretary to restructure this organization because this wasn't utilized in the past. And this bureau is not to create technology that much, but to identify the technology that others has according to their mandate and then unify it in a single platform or in a single play so that everyone should not be stepping in someone else's mandate. Okay? So, anyway, allow me to elaborate a bit about this bureau. So, it has 4 objectives. First and foremost, a safer and protected and reliable ICT. So, it's useless to create a system without protection, without security. That's why our model now in the ICT, as we build things, we make sure that we are compliant to both data privacy and cybersecurity at the same time. Mali po yung you create a system now and then you comply with cybersecurity and data privacy in the future. No. As you develop, you comply immediately. As you develop, you are cybersecurity compliant and you are data privacy compliant at the same time, so that you don't need to have this bloody process after the development. Of course, the ICT-related enabled government, we have a lot nowadays, but sad to say, they are not actually interconnected. They are not interoperated for the moment. And that's the job of the ICT. And not only to have a solution, but there should be a greater public reach. Very important. Or else, what's the sense of you having a technology if no one is using it? We need to have massive adoption. And lastly, the ICT capacity development. All right, so we can talk about a lot of things in the ICT's activity nowadays, but I would like to focus on the ILGU. This is the Smart City project of the DICT, and we would like to work with a lot of private entities here, including telcos, because we can only implement this, okay, with the help of private entities at the same time with the help of the telcos. So imagine, for the past 2.5 stay in the ICT, around 500 LGUs signed up. Actually, 900 signed up, but we are now currently implementing 500 LGUs. And I was excited to, I was speaking with Governor Remulla a while ago, since they're already interconnected, it's easy now to implement technology there because it's already connected. You don't need to have any problem about internet connections. So we would like to expand this a bit. So ILGU is actually a public service digitally done in a one-stop shop technology. So it has a lot of solutions inside it. Good news, the national ID will be inside it. Meaning if you have the app, you don't need to have card or paper printed document. Using the app, you have the national ID already. Second, it might be, not yet done, but it might be integrated here, the SIM card registration that was signed by the President. In a single app, you have the national ID, you have the SIM card registration. And of course, all other else. The payments is there, tourism is also inside it, national government agency. Imagine how many websites we have right now. You apply for your passport, another website. You apply for a driver's license, another website. You apply for SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and the rest of the government transactions. We have around 200 websites that you need to memorize. And the bad thing is, every agency, they are promoting their own innovation. But this platform will unify all of them so that you don't need to promote anything. If you are in Cavite, once you download the app of Cavite, everything you need in Cavite is there. You have your passport application, your NBI, your PNP clearance, your SSS, your PhilHealth, your Pag-ibig, your national ID, and then you click button of tourism, you can find all the tourism spots in Cavite. And good news, there's also a button there for you to apply jobs as well. You know, e-governance is not about just creating technology. You need also to provide welfare to your people. Jobs is very important. And on the third phase of this implementation, e-commerce is part of that. Promote local products inside the platform, like a mini Food Panda or mini Lazada or Shopee inside it, promoting the products inside Cavite. I'm just making an example. And the people's feedback mechanism is also part of the e-governance. We need to let people tell to the government that we're doing the bad job or the good job. It's like a complaint management system. People can complain. People can tell that government, you're doing the right job, or government, you're doing the worst job, so that we're able to learn, we're able to, you know, people should tell us, okay, if we're doing something good or something bad, so that we're able to trigger good competition in the government, right? That's very important. Anyway, I'm not going to discuss all of this, but there's a lot of services, including social amelioration, jobs and manpower, local government, including the permits, the barangay clearance, business permit, real property tax, business tax, local civil registry, the marriage certificate, birth certificate, death certificate, clearances in a single app. And by the way, this is not a dream anymore because we are currently pilot implementing this to 25 LGUs already. Anyway, I'm not going to discuss all the LGU services. You know all of this. I'm sure most of you already availed their own business permit and maybe some of the violations, or also health permit, barangay clearance, and the rest of the government, not local government agencies. So the dream is to put all of this inside the app so that you don't need to go to one website to another. Of course, we all know this, the electronic payments. So meaning giving the rights to the people to choose whatever payment gateway you would like to use. You don't need to do one-by-one integration anymore, okay, to payment gateways. DICT will become your shortcut. Once you plug and play to the e-payment system of DICT, you are connected to e-wallets. You are connected to banks. You are connected to cash payments. You are connected to kiosk machines. You don't need to do one-by-one API integration anymore. That's why government will become as a service. Government as a service will be the motto of the e-governance services of the DICT. Imagine you can pay your SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, your passport, your NBI, everything inside the app. The good news is lesser cost and hopefully no more overpricing of convenience fees, which is being used by a lot of integrators nowadays. Okay. Electronic services, including social amelioration, jobs, tourism, financial inclusion, including medical service. Inside the app, you can now find your back certificate inside it. You don't need to request anymore. Why you need to go to another app or another website just to request for your vaccination, right? So it's inside the app as well. E-commerce is also part of this. We need to provide additional livelihood to our people. Every time I talk to a financial inclusion event, they always mention that 53% of the population, of the adult populations are unbanked. But the question is, the reason why they're unbanked, they don't have money. We need to provide them additional jobs. We need to provide them additional livelihood so that they're able to earn money. Once they have money, now they can open an account. Now they can be so-called bank. That's why e-governance is not just providing technology. We need also to make sure that we're able to use this technology to provide jobs and additional livelihood. Okay? National Government Portal. Our aim is to unify all the 200 websites of the government in a single app, in a single portal, so that we're going to promote only one single point of entry to process your IDs, your clearances, and permits. This is under the law. This is not new, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, hindi po ito bago. Nandyan na po yan. Batas na po yan. I-implement na lang ho natin. It's called the National Government Portal. I'm not going to explain all of this, but really, this will not only bring ease of doing business, but will simplify the life of everyone. I believe in cause and effect. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kaya mahaba ang traffic ngayon? Kasi tingnan niyo ang pila nasa mga government agencies. But if people will now process inside their home, the comfort of their home, they don't need to go out and process the government transactions. In the future, ma-affect rin yan ang traffic natin. Liliit niya po yan. Pagpunta ko po dito, minadaanan akong isang ahensya, not to mention the name of the agency, ang daming sasakyan, at yun ang nagkukos ng traffic. So imagine, if we're going to implement this kind of technology, liliit na po ang activity natin para sa mga government transactions. Marami po kaming project. Meron din po kaming central business portal. Hindi po ito bago. Nandyan na po yan. Kailangan lang natin i-integrate. Para po sa pag-apply ng negosyo, dapat hindi na po mahirap. Kahit nasa bahay ka na lang. Again, don't you know that the government is spending billions of pesos because every time that a certain government agency, they're building their own. Kanya-kanya. They have their own data center. They have their own server. They have their own data services. And even in the DICT, we have a lot of unused and underutilized servers. You know why? Because they are not unified. They are not ready to implement in terms of connectivity of e-governance technology. Sayang. And imagine mo kung ang government may isang cloud na lang. That's why we are pushing this in this administration to come up a unified e-government cloud services na may kasama na siyang optimization, cybersecurity, may kasama na siyang backup. Para every agency na magtayo ng kanyang website or app or anumang technology, they don't need to subscribe and again, they don't need to ask budget again sa DBM na gumawa ng sarili nilang mga cloud services. This is the reason bakit hindi nag-uusap-usap ang mga system natin. This is the reason kung bakit parang Frankenstein, parang walang nangyayari sa mga innovation kasi kalat-kalat ang ating mga data. Okay, I have a couple of slides more. I'm not going to discuss this any further. This cloud can be used by departments, bureaus, including SUCs, including local government units. But there's a lot of challenges, by the way. I don't want to promise you things because we have a lot of challenges and we need the help of everyone. How we gonna maybe not eradicate all of these challenges? You see, we have 2 manual processes. The COVID is still there. Lack of transparency, data redundancies, and guess what? What I found out, nakakaawa rin po ang government. You know why? Alam niyo po ang baba ng sweldo ng mga IT. Kaya walang continuity. Ititrain mo yung tao, once na-train na yung tao, gumaling, nagme-maintain ng system, o offeran lang ng doble ang sweldo sa private, aalis. So how could the government sustain technology if the people that being trained, the IT professionals, are not that competent, at the same time, they're not happy in terms of compensation? That's why we're actually trying to, to beg that sana tumaas naman ang sweldo ng mga IT professionals ng gobyerno para mamalagi sila sa gobyerno. Or else, every time na bagong administrasyon, aalis lahat-lahat, walang matitira na technology, back to zero na naman lahat-lahat. These are the challenges, to be transparent with you. And I believe private entities, you have something in mind, okay, to help the government as well. Trainings, upskilling. Maybe PLDT can handle some trainings, libre sa government. Right? Anyway, to cut the story short, the reason why we're failing, imagine we have 22 national government departments. Alam mo nangyayari, lahat nag-uusap-usap po yan. Lahat gustong mag-integrate. Gusto mag-integrate ng payment, gusto mag-integrate ng delivery, mag-integrate ng data. Pero alam mo, sa dami ng pag-uusap-usap, sa dami ng integration na nangyayari, after 6 years, wala pong natatapos. So yun yung pinaka-problema. And allow me to borrow yung parang presentation kanina ni Gob, okay, on the backbone development. And it's actually the vision of the e-governance. Ito po yun, yung sinasabi kanina ni Governor Remulla. Ayusin mo muna yung horizontal mo, yung backbone mo. Dapat meron kang e-governance strategy, yung roadmap na ayusin. And then, mag-solid development ka ng platform mo. Dapat naayos mo meron kang integrated commerce. Then ILG is part of that. We have the iGov. By the way, iGov will be launched before the end of the year. I don't want to spoil, but that might be the biggest accomplishment of the ICT this year. I'm not gonna present it muna. I already presented ILGU kanina. And once you're able to come up with a solid foundation, you don't need to have a fairy tale, super laki na system. Kailangan mo lang yan yung simplified foundation lang ng technology. Yung simpleng-simple lang, para hindi pa ulit-ulit. Every system, may first name, may last name, may middle name. Pupunta ka sa another system na naman, manghihingi na naman ng first name, last name, middle name, may picture taking na naman na mangyayari doon, may verification na naman doon, paulit-ulit. Kaya ang laki ng gastos natin sa cloud services, storages. And guess what? Kaya ang bagal-bagal ng mga systems ng gobyerno kasi ang bibigat na, hindi na optimize. Dapat ang sistema, wag dapat sisisihin din masyado minsan sa telco. I'm not defending PLDT here, but sometimes the government should also optimize the system so that even if you have 2 Mbps, the system should still work. But if the technology is so heavy, even you have 10 Mbps or 20 Mbps, mabagal pa din po yan. Kaya kinakailangan na may counterpart din kami na i-optimize yung mga technology. Okay, and then we encourage private-public partnership. Each one of you here, including PLDT, baka pwede naman kayong tumingin kung anong pwedeng itulong nyo po sa amin sa gobyerno. We're willing. And this is being elaborated, okay, by our president that we are inviting private partnerships to the government. And then, whether we like it or not, it will go to its natural way. Because of that foundation, makikinabang po lahat ang mga ahensya. Maraming salamat po at for giving us a chance to talk. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Usec David. Now, the intention to transition to smart cities has been established, but advocating for universal connectivity, financial inclusion, and transformation, and working that into an active bureaucracy that's responsive to the public's needs is actually a daunting task that thankfully our leaders are willing to take on. So let's turn the spotlight on the importance of technology and digital infrastructure in building smart cities. And let's call on the Executive Vice President and Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer for Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation, or RCBC, Lito Villanueva.
Thank you so much. And of course, thank you to PLDT for inviting me to this very prestigious gathering, Digicon. And when I first saw Jonvic, parang mas mukha pa siyang fintech guy sa outfit, di ba? So parang nahiya naman ako masyado sa outfit ni Gov. Again, of course, plus si Usec Dave, who has been, our idol when it comes to pushing for massive digitalization in the Philippines. And I was tasked to discuss about, of course, smart cities. And this is something that we have been trying to push or promote in the Philippines. And one thing that I would like to highlight this morning or this afternoon is more about Singapore. And especially Singapore will be hosting the Singapore FinTech Festival, its first face-to-face gathering after COVID, since 2019. So Singapore is living a century ahead of the rest of the world. The Garden City is integrating technology to make it better than its best version already. For example, it is a developed country known for its efficient mass transportation. Tourists do not need to purchase any ticket to ride the train. All they need is their ATM card or e-wallet to explore every nook and corner of the city. This is just a snapshot of the city's digital mega project. Singapore is using technology to prevent crime, control traffic, and project the impact of crime and terrorism. Singapore is building the city of the future. I am confident that the Philippines is making significant strides to that future, the smart future. Our vision, every Philippine city is to be digitally empowered. Cavite Governor Jonvic Remulla and DICT Undersecretary for E-Government Dave Almirol shared enlightening insights on the Philippine blueprint for smart cities. Their input captures the essence of the Marcos Jr. administration's digitalization project. The President emphasized that digital infrastructure is critical to the country's future and is the key to address the digital divide. A digital Philippines will materialize if we continue fortifying the pillars of a smart city. Digital infrastructure, innovation and technology, and inclusive digital finance are keys to achieving what Singapore has achieved. First, the simplest of digital activities rely on secure and reliable digital infrastructure. As a country, we are on our way to realizing a digitally and financially inclusive future. With our shared vision for a smart future, the current administration has already laid out the foundation for this to be possible. The government and major fintech players are rallying for better internet for the Philippines, a mega project that acts as a launchpad to this smart future. The Philippines is the first in Southeast Asia to enjoy the fruits of Elon Musk's ingenuity. Musk-led Starlink is set to fully launch in the country next year, and what is more admirable is that Starlink has entered into plans with the government to provide free internet. If successful, remote areas will be digitally connected to the world through broadband ng masa. Being wired to the internet results in being wired into digital finance. The DICT also announced that it is embarking on collaborations with the private sector to provide high-speed, reliable fiber internet to disadvantaged communities, a move that will further push us to a digital future. For example, the Rural Wired Connectivity Development Act intends to expand wired internet services in rural areas by incentivizing industry players to deploy networks and operate easily in unserved and underserved communities. This bill can hasten the financial inclusion efforts of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and private industry players. These strides translate to the creation of countless livelihood opportunities. Farmers establish more links to urban markets. Rural businesses access capitals, new markets, and new sources of materials. Disadvantaged communities are connected to a more information and data hotspots. All of these outcomes do not only grow MSMEs and rejuvenate our economies. It enriches and empowers all Filipinos. It elevates us in the global economic ladder. Most importantly, it makes life convenient for every Filipino. With high-speed internet and a smartphone, a prosperous future becomes possible within one's fingertips. These developments are strongly complemented with skills upscaling projects and valuable projects that equip the Filipinos of today to become the citizens of tomorrow. More tertiary institutions are now offering programs in data science. The University of the Philippines is now accepting postgraduate students for its data science program. Alibaba's 10th times 1,000 Tech for Inclusion program under Ant Group is training and preparing Filipino tech talents for the future. While the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance of the University of Cambridge is launching its first off-campus fintech and regulatory technology innovations program in the ASEAN region, and that is here in the Philippines, in collaboration with the Mapua University and the FinTech Alliance.ph. A digital infrastructure can only thrive if there are people to maintain, develop, and enhance it. We are finally cultivating an innovation-friendly business environment, which in turn make smart citizens build smart cities and give birth to a smart country. The second ingredient to a digital Philippines is technology. Technology forecasts emerging crises and triggers contextual solutions and surgical responses. Do you remember my experience with the Singapore MRT? Well, Singapore was harnessing big data and using cloud computing through my debit card. And for what? To identify commuter hotspots, manage bus fleets, and model commuter demand. Critical information they use to constantly improve their world-class and renowned train service. Malaking sakit sa ulo ang traffic hanggang ngayon. But good news, mga kasama, our country is poised to become a data center hub in the region. And of course, thanks to PLDT for that. Investments in cloud computing are forecast to balloon from $1.8 billion to approximately $2.4 billion in 2024. We can greatly benefit from this boom. And with cloud computing investments increasing, technology that can harness and process data can be leveraged to solve our everyday problems. These problems include not only hellish traffic, but poor air quality, mismanagement of resources, and crime plus terrorism. Big data, cloud computing, and technology are critical for megacities like Metro Manila to address decades-old problems. More importantly, we connect remote areas and provinces to the city. Technology produces accurate predictive models and preemptive policies that prevent emerging cities from becoming megacities of chaos. Finally, the bedrock of mobility in a smart city is inclusive digital finance. Overseas Filipinos in Dubai apply for residency and settle traffic fines through an application. Through the Dubai Now app, they can submit complaints and pay their bills. Just like what the example made by Usec, Dave Almirol earlier, on how we wish we have that single app where every Filipino could make use of. Accessible payments mean efficient collection of revenues. And this is the norm in global cities like Dubai. The Philippines too has this. We are seeing a sharp increase in digital payments over retail, especially since the start of the pandemic. More Filipinos and establishments are obtaining and using digital bank accounts or e-wallets for everyday transactions. The Duterte administration accelerated the use of mobile applications and convenience stores to ease payment of government fees. A great example is the award-winning our financial inclusion application RCBC Discartec, the Philippines' first and only Taglish and Cebuano inclusion app. Filipinos can not only just pay bills and government fees, they can access livelihood opportunities, grow their money at 3.25% annual interest, and purchase insurance and telemedicine. As we can see, the steps may be small, but they already carry great impact. Without the pillars of a smart city, secure digital infrastructure, reliable connectivity, technology, and inclusive digital finance, even the simplest digital activities would not be possible. Inclusive digital finance keeps a smart city moving, adapting, and thriving. I have no doubt that the Philippines, as a developing country, can attain the same gold standard of living as Singapore, as long as we keep learning, adapting, and creating new innovations for the common good. Ladies and gentlemen, the possibilities are endless. Good afternoon and thank you at mabuhay.
Thank you so much, Lito. Now, earlier on, we did hear from Cavite, so it's now time to travel up north as we discover how the city of Baguio has been building a strong foundation of the technological and digital infrastructure necessary to transform it into a smart city. Please welcome the Maverick Mayor of Baguio City, Mayor Benjie Magalong.
Let me first acknowledge Usec Almirol, who happens to be one of my colleagues sa NTF, Mr. Lito Villanueva, and our executives from PLDT. Let me first give you an idea why we endeavor to indulge in a smart city. Alam niyo, as a mayor, the first thing that you need to do is to find out what is the strategic plans, strategic programs, strategic problems, and strategic issues being faced by your city. And one of our biggest challenges that we are facing now is urban decay in the city of Baguio, which started as early as 2000. And looking at our previous plan to put up a safe city, which will only deal on security and public safety, sabi ko kulang. We need to be more comprehensive and we need to level up several notches higher. And after coming from Guangzhou, China, which was probably one of the first city that indulged in smart city programs, then finally I told myself, this is about time that we have to really aggressively pursue our smart city initiatives. And that's the reason why we came up with this. Ano? Alam nyo kasi, every plan that you have to come up, every strategic plan should be science-based, should be data-driven. And the only way to do that is to be able to have a system that collects data every day, either on economy, on environment, on governance, on agriculture, safety, security, as I've said, everything about governance. And if you will be able to collect all this data on a daily basis, then every time you're faced with a strategic problem, you have to come up with a strategic plan. Immediately, all this data will be made available in a matter of minutes and a matter of seconds, or a matter of hours, for that matter. And so, let me present to you our smart city initiatives. Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And on behalf of the city of Baguio, I would like to thank the organizers for allowing Baguio to share its journey towards becoming the first smart city in the country. Our decision to transform Baguio City into a smart city is aligned with our vision of a smart, green, and sustainable city, with the ultimate goal of improving the urban quality of life, not only of our constituents, but of our visitors as well. Among other smart cities improve the following: better public health and social systems, cleaner and more sustainable environment, enhanced social connectiveness, efficient mobility system, security and public safety, and finally, most probably the most important, it enhances governance. In essence, we must be efficient in delivering government services to our people, especially to those who need them most. So allow me to present a short profile of our city. Baguio City is popularly known as a summer capital of the Philippines. It was designed for 25 to 30,000 people. Now, 2020 figure, we are 378,000. With a floating population of about 600 to 650,000. We have an annual growth of 1.54%. The total number of barangays is 128, and the land area is around 57.48 square kilometers to be exact. Even with the setbacks brought about by the pandemic, by the way, Baguio was only designed for about 15,000. The road network was only designed for 15,000 vehicles. Total number of registered vehicles in the city of Baguio alone in 2021 reached 56,000. Take out the 15,000 motorcycles. We have 41,000 four-wheel vehicles who end up in the city of Baguio alone. Excluding the 450 to 480,000 vehicles of tourists and visitors that come up to the city of Baguio annually. So we have a huge problem on how to treat all of this. And the only way to be able to address and plan out for this is to come up with a smart city platform. We are actively engaging stakeholders and technology partners to put into flesh our digital platform. In September 2021, we inaugurated our Smart City Command Center, the first ever Smart City platform, single platform in the entire country. This will initially help us manage the city's assets and resources, provide a more efficient and effective service to the public by monitoring our crime index, traffic, greening program, our environment, our recovery, automated weather station, floodwater mitigation warning systems, and air quality index. Initially, just to name a few. Connectivity has become imperative, and so we entered into a MOA with DICT to address this challenge. And we are now partnering with a private group. We call them private or project lightning team. And we intend to increase our bandwidth from the usual 100 to 150 Mbps. These were provided by our telcos to 1 gigabit. So this is a high-speed internet for the entire city of Baguio. And hopefully, in the next 3 months, we'll be able to realize it. We will be able to feel the difference when you have this high-speed internet. First time, it will be in the city of Baguio. And we're using two types of technology. The first technology is the Israeli millimeter wave. Between 2 millimeter waves, ang speed niyan is 10 gigabits. And another, this will also be complemented by the AirGig technology developed by AT&T. Baguio in My Pocket is another application that will offer digital access to government service transactions and cashless payment. We envision that it soon will be able to support transactions because why did we come up with the digital payment or the digital platform? Why Baguio in My Pocket? Imagine what is Baguio in My Pocket? A cell phone inside your pocket. In short, every time you conduct transactions with government, you don't have to go to the city of Baguio and line up at City Hall. Using your own mobile phone, you can already transact business with the city government. And aside from that, you can also use your cell phone for digital payment, for 911, and all the other features. Let us say, for example, you're a visitor to Baguio, you have your, something happened to your dogs, naghahanap ka ngayon ng, saan ako maghahanap ng vet? Then all you have to do is go to online services, makakakita ka ng sino yung mga registered na veterinary doctors. Or kailangan mo ng karpintero dahil may nangyari doon sa bahay mo o doon sa tinitirahan mo, then you can immediately look at the online services in your Baguio in My Pocket. You can call immediately someone to provide you services. At the same time, for 911, in just a matter of 15 seconds, you can immediately report an incident to the police. To sa aming command center, it will just take us 15 seconds. Lalabas na yung location mo doon. We will know. Since all our patrol cars of the Philippine National Police and our patrol teams have a radio that we can track, we will know what particular unit of the Philippine National Police will respond to you. Kung meron kaming camera doon sa lugar, we can immediately zoom in doon sa location ng particular incident. As I've said, through this application, we will also be able to use the Paleng QR page program of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. We are the pilot city of the digital payment program of the Central Bank and the Department of Interior and Local Government. We continue to enhance our services, particularly in simplifying processes like the automated business permitting system to provide ease and convenience to the transacting public. Alam nyo, dito sa Baguio, yung building permit, you don't even have to go to our city building administration's office. All you have to do is send us a digital copy of your plans, all the technical plans, all the documentary requirements. Pupunta ka na lang sa aming Cibao office to pay and to get your permit. For residents, 5 to 7 days. For 4 stories and below, 15 to 17 days. And for everything above 4 stories up to 8 stories, then those are complicated types of structures. It only takes you about 30 to 31 days to get your permit. Bawal po ang magbigay na bribe sa aming mga personnel. Wala pong corruption sa siyudad ng Baguio. We continue to enhance, we are planning to have an intelligent transportation system as our battle cry to make private cars irrelevant in the city of Baguio. And probably some of you would say, wow, what a grand plan. Yes, it's a grand plan. And we are working closely with a Singaporean team of ST Engineering, one of the biggest company in Singapore. And it is partly state-owned, and they help us craft our master plan. They provide us all this technical support. Last January 2022, we have it approved by the City Council, and now we're going to implement it. It will be a joint partnership among 3 entities. One is ST Engineering. ST Engineering designed and implemented the Smart Mobility Master Plan of Singapore. Second is Metro Pacific Tollways of Mr. Manny Pangilinan and the local government of Baguio. This will be an efficient public transport system that will help us in our goal to ease congestion in the city and manage our traffic. It includes the following: congestion fee charging scheme, traffic management and enforcement system, smart parking management, smart public transport system, and smart application. Alam niyo, sa siyudad ng Baguio, when we did our inventory, we found out that there are only 2,700 parking slots. Can you just imagine a city with only 2,700 parking slots? We envision to build as many as 24 parking buildings for us to be able to generate around 14,000 parking slots para sa aming bisita and for our residents. Considering the fact, as I've said, napakarami hong sasakyan na umaakit dito sa siyudad ng Baguio. We will soon indulge in digital care management system. This is an integrated platform that provides a patient portal access to electronic medical records. This is a response to the need of our people to get expert information about their health status remotely. All our efforts in the field of digitalization were rewarded when we received 3 major awards, top awards for digital governance in 2021. We want to transform Baguio from the business as usual standard and develop it into a smart, sustainable city. And we are now positioning Baguio as an innovation hub. We developed a digital twin of the city. We were able to create a three-dimensional model of the city for us to visualize it. The only way you will be able to manage land is you should be able to visualize it. And that's the digital twin. It is a dynamic, up-to-date virtual model of the physical assets of the city. This virtual environment shall be the platform where planning, decision-making, and community engagement for the future will take place. How would the digital twin be a platform for community engagement? The virtual model of the city is shareable and is even ready for other virtual technologies. With a digital twin, citizens can view and interact with the proposed development goals of the city, how transportation and mobility shall provide the necessary connection at the fastest and most comfortable mode, and how economic development shall spread not only within the city, but also to its neighboring municipalities and the region, creating a livable community. That is one of our core agenda. Create livable communities in our barangay. Moreover, this digital twin will help us in auditing the city, its people, its resources in order to develop a viable and equitable solution to the updated city land use plan and zoning code. The digital twin can also be incorporated with layers on the type, magnitude, and diversity of business enterprises in the city. The city development framework can thus use this information to guide business entrepreneurship support to its citizens as well as to its investors. And so if you look at everything that we're doing, I can only describe it in one word: sustainability. Disaster risk management is also one of the most important key factors that we can monitor. The digital twin can handle additional data layers such as natural as well as man-made hazards present in the city, and contingency plans can be prudently formulated. Early warning systems are also incorporated into smart city systems as a forewarning of possible disasters. Using all these types of technology, we'll be able to address one of our main focus, one of our core agenda, and that is addressing climate change. A smart city improves the interaction and engagement of the citizenry with the government. It allows for the top-down, side-to-side, and bottom-up exchange of thoughts and objectives. In the information age, reliable information should get to the citizens in the most fastest way possible. Smart is the most responsive and the most appropriate technology for a livable city. All this would not have been possible if they were not built on a platform of good governance. All these things that you see, all this technology that you see in this Baguio, baliwala ho lahat yan. Parang fancy toy lang po yan. Unless the people behind it, the people governing, will be built, their principles will be built on a platform of good governance. And we even went beyond it. We say good governance beyond politics. We need to exercise prudence and assert once again that city leaders should be fair and responsible, with high standards for ethics and integrity, and with a recognition of full transparency and accountability. And more importantly, this drives public trust in government. People are more inclined to support our policies, participate in charity activities, participate in community activities, willing to pay their taxes if they trust government. Trust is the cornerstone of any institution. We have entered into the age of innovation as we need to adapt to the fast-paced world of digital transformation. We must always remain vigilant and proactive on how we can become a globally competitive city. I'm proud to share with all of you that there is no room for corruption in the city of Baguio. Bawal po yan sa syudad ng Baguio. Nakakalungkot na sa ibang lugar, kaya maraming lugar na makikita nyo sa bawat project, mayroong porsyento ang ating mga politiko. Hindi lang po porsyento. Sa bawat project, sila pa yung may porsyento na nga sila pa yung sila pa yung supplier. O kaya sila yung may porsyento na nga sila pa yung contractor. O kaya triple whammy. May porsyento na. Sila pa yung contractor, sila pa yung supplier. So because of this, ang ating mga investors, they're discouraged to invest, but not in the city of Baguio. Good governance is the right way forward, especially for a challenging future. We want good governance to be like a COVID-19 virus. In fact, the city of Baguio is spearheading the good governance network, hoping that it will become a movement that will soon become like a COVID-19 virus, become infectious, become highly transmissible, become contagious, hoping that we'll be able to infect other local chief executives, other local government units, show them that true enough, good governance really works. Good governance goes beyond traditional politics, and it's not only focused on fighting corruption. It is about empowerment, especially youth empowerment, inclusiveness, dynamism, and authentic leadership. Here in the city of Baguio, we're strongly advocating youth empowerment. In fact, every time I tell our youth, I speak to the youth, I tell them, feel insulted when people call you future leaders of this country. Because if there's any time that you should be leader, it should be now. Age should never be a factor in leadership. And as I've said, good governance goes beyond politics. It is about politics of hope, not a politics of hate and frustration. It's not a politics of hate, but a politics of goodwill and mutual understanding. It's not a politics of criticism, but a politics of encouragement. And lastly, it's not a politics of lies, but a politics of truth. This is what keeps us going in the city of Baguio. And we know that we can make a difference, create and institute change. We are stewards called upon to create a legacy that we can proudly pass on to the next generation. In our lifetime, we might not be able to experience and see firsthand, but we have all envisioned. Definitely, our children, the next generation, will. And so let us dedicate everything that we do now for them. As we engage in today's activities, may we be inspired and reminded that we are not working only for small change. We are targeting unprecedented change. We are targeting digital transformation to create a smart government, a smart city, and smart Baguio people. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. Mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you so much, Mayor Benjie. And now that we've understood how important technology and digital infrastructure are to this vision, we can now take a look at the cost and benefits of building a smarter city, or a smart city rather. Now sharing his insights on this, we have the CEO of Multisys Technologies Corporation. Please welcome Victor and Aliwalas. Let me just correct that. It's Victor Aliwalas, correct?
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Aliwalas, President and CEO of Multisys Technologies Corporation. Now, it's very surreal being here under this new name, right? Very new to Multisys. I just joined last month. So ironically, yesterday, I finally found out where the bathroom was. That's how new I am. So on behalf of the Multisys organization, I just want to thank PLDT Enterprise, as well as Digicon, for giving us the opportunity to speak today. Great event, great speakers. Before we get into the smart cities and cost benefits of being a smart city, I'd like to give you a kind of quick, brief overview of who we are and what we do at Multisys. So who are we? Multisys is a software development company. We are a digital platforms and solutions provider and have more than 300 plus IT professionals within the organization, majority of which are elite programmers and full stack developers. So we are located in Multinational Village, Parañaque, and we have satellite offices in Manila, as well as BGC. And as of recent, PLDT recently got a majority stake with Multisys, so we are backed by the country's largest telco and ICT provider. Now here at Multisys, we're very strong in e-finance and payment platforms. I'm sure you've used our systems in the past. We're also getting very active in e-commerce through our e-commerce platform, Multisys. We're widely used in e-government, which we'll get into in a little while, and we're really present as well in e-business. Moreover, we're venturing into new strong sectors such as e-learning, e-health, and e-gaming. We'd also like to highlight the fact that we focus on bespoke, customized digital app development projects as well as web projects. Majority of the requirements and inquiries that we get are within that realm, and we plan to do a lot of work with PLDT Enterprise in terms of cloud implementation projects. Okay, now back to the task at hand. Let's talk about the cost and benefits of building a smart city, which I must say is really near and dear to the hearts of Multisys because this has been part of our flagship program since 2019. But first, let's touch on what is a smart city, okay? What makes a city smart? Is it purely technology? Is it technology with governance? Or technology and the way that people live? Now, there's a wide variety of factors and considerations that make a city smart. Mainly when a city is transformed by using data and technology. By doing so, a city is able to streamline and automate its processes and ultimately help make their citizens have better data-driven decisions. We can address urbanization issues and improve the citizens' quality of life. Now with data, you get to synthesize and develop the kind of governance that would best fit you and the benefits of your constituents, okay? Data can be about traffic, volume of transactions, business trends, pollution, crime rate, and even air and water quality. Now with this type of information readily available, the government can act immediately to address nearly anything. May it be social and economic quality, business opportunities, accessibility of services, citizen safety, transportation, healthcare, and many, many more. Now, there's really significant value to turning our LGUs into smart cities. Now, first and foremost is really the data-driven decision-making. It's very important when it comes to governance. Any type of business transaction or decision should be made with data. And of course, driving more business opportunities. For example, e-commerce. And further economic development, which are all aligned with ease of doing business, as well as efficient and accessible public services. LGUs will also be able to create more meaningful engagements and hear the true sentiments of their constituents. And with that, we'll be able to solve predominating urbanization problems like heavy traffic and hopefully crime rates as well, which in turn would create safer societies, which you all really want. And obviously, we'll get sustainable and lesser environmental footprint, which would benefit our future generations. Sustainability is key. Now, there are a lot of preconceived notions that smart cities represent this utopian world. And some people find it to be too good to be true. Is a smart city really an unrealized utopia? Let's just say that there are a lot of missed opportunities and non-maximized potentials by missing out on this opportunity. In a report released by Digital Marketing Institute, some costs of not becoming a smart city include absence, incomplete, or incorrect information of constituents, which makes leaders blind on creating the right policies and enforcement of such. Also long, manual, complex ways of doing business. We've all been there. And government transactions are limited to business hours, which are practically missed opportunities for both the LGUs and its citizens. Everybody's really busy. We need to maximize our time and efficiency. Moreover, there's difficulty, little to no way of reaching and communicating with cities, municipalities, and barangays. As the government official stated earlier, there's so many barangays that we have to address. Absence or inaccurate data analytics, which can constrict and affect decision-making processes. And also little to no voter information. Now, folks, don't get me wrong. This is not meant to earn more votes in the upcoming elections, but it's really a way of knowing exactly what the public wants and needs to be addressed. It's also very possible to lose potential investors with manual and long winding processes, outdated systems, and etc. Of course, absence, slow, or incorrect revenue collection would also be there. We want to have the most efficient revenue collection policies. And finally, most importantly, you're allowing yourself to fall behind. If other cities are doing this, you should also be a smart city. All right, now that we've tackled the benefits of becoming a smart city, as well as the opportunity costs of not becoming one, how do we move forward? How do we develop a truly smart city? Now, the first step is really to address our readiness. So there are several factors that can be attributed to a city's readiness to becoming smart. In a very simplified manner, based on our years of experience at Multisys empowering LGUs, we can categorize it into these two factors here. An LGU's technical readiness and the technological reception and adoption of its citizens. So we're going to dig deeper into this in the next few slides, the combination of the two. Now, our push for LGUs wasn't without challenges. Okay? For one, there was obvious roadblocks of insufficient technological infrastructure, outdated systems and equipment, and Frankenstein system integrations, technical delays, and more, especially in the lower tier provincial areas. So there's also a need to boost the technical skills of our LGUs such that they are eventually empowered to manage their own digitalization programs. So we at Multisys have been sending our training manuals, continuously holding trainings and workshops, and assisting LGUs for them to be able to map out their digital transformation journey based on their specific operational setup. So we always have to enforce continuous learning. There was also the initial skepticism that Multisys met at the LGU from officials who were unsure whether working with us would be worth the initial investment. And with that comes LGU prioritizations and budget allocations for digitalization. There always has to be that sound business case for the LGUs. There's also a need to address uniformity in LGU systems because to date, integrations really remain a challenge. And this will be a problem if the national government wants to truly optimize and streamline public services. Now, good thing that today, a lot of our government agencies out there are really gearing up towards empowering our LGUs. Of course, with DICT on top of the country's digital transformation, it's going to be a big help. Thank you, Usec. We've also been working a lot with the Anti-Red Tape Authority towards this specific goal. So the next question that we present ourselves is, are we, the citizens, ready? And I'm happy to say that these stats say it all. So when it comes to digitalization and becoming a futuristic environment and atmosphere, the good news is, based on the Global Innovations Index, which is ranked list published by the World Intellectual Property Organization, they have found that the Philippines jumped from 73rd in 2018 up to 51st spot this year. This is amongst 132 different countries in terms of innovation, a huge leap from three years ago. Moreover, according to the report, We Are Social, that was released this past February, there are over 76 million Filipinos who are internet users. The report also states that 98.8% of internet users aged 16 to 64 own a mobile phone, and that a whopping 43.44 million Filipinos are already making digital payments. So us as a society, we're very digitally adept. Filipinos are probably one of the most proactive social media users, digital adapters, crypto, etc. So I think our society and citizens in general are really ready. Now, cities will not become smart just because of technology. And there's really no exact science or a one-size-fits-all method or framework that builds such spaces. But over the years, we at Multisys have developed a universal digital solution called Smart LGU, wherein we essentially help local government units across the country to automate public services, making them accessible to citizens anytime and anywhere. So Smart LGU is essentially a digital solution that promotes ease of doing business and efficient delivery of government services by providing contactless and cashless transactions to the public. We want to create time and effort efficiencies. Now, this is in line with the Ease of Doing Business and Efficiency Delivery of Government Services Act. So as you can see here, this provides the framework in the use of third-party payment facilitators, such as Dragon Pay, which is a mobile payment facility, electronic online banking, ATM banking services, credit cards, and so forth. This really addresses the convenience on the part of the transacting public. So how does the solution work? Using our smart LGU solution, we're able to automate various public services, such as mayor's permit, real property tax, business tax, cedula online applications, civil registry, occupational permits, health certificates, and ordinance violations. And I'm sure each and every one of you here today has had to deal with that situation, and we're hoping that you can experience this using our Smart City platform. So LGUs can efficiently streamline their operations and make transacting with them digital and easy with the use of a mobile application, a web application, which is the back-end usage for the admin of the LGU to use as a portal to oversee all the operations. And lastly, we have kiosk machines where citizens can easily transact and avail of public services located strategically in areas with high foot traffic. So this is the trifecta of making the system work. So for the mobile application, the public will find the following features listed on the slide. Personally, I'd like to highlight the fund transfer capabilities, mobile load top-up, e-wallet loading, and remittance. This is going to make my life so much easier for everyone. And then with the kiosk machines, again, they can be deployed in very high foot traffic areas, and they can be availed of in the same public service areas. And on the LGU side, they can access the backend with dashboards and comprehensive analytics, enrollment and viewing of listed billers and channels, fraud management and compliance monitoring, and customer service management. So from a public official's perspective, the data and efficiencies created by this web portal would truly help me become a stronger and more effective LGU compared to those that don't leverage this type of technology. So why partner with us to start your LGU's digitalization journey? As you can see here, Multisys is a trusted technology partner and provider of LGUs and Philippine conglomerates. We've done it in the past and proven that it works. Your city will definitely be smarter with cashless and contactless transactions. We provide comprehensive digital services that are linked to government services, e-commerce platforms, and other private systems. Now, the Smart LGU solution provides a holistic view of the LGU's performance. With analytics, it'll help you forecast and, again, make better decisions. There's also a very reliable monitoring system that is data-driven. And, of course, it streamlines the LGU's processes, operations, and boosts operational productivity and supports sustainability. It is also a secure digital facility fortified with ISO-certified cybersecurity measures. It's cost-effective in the long run and convenient not only for citizens, but again for the LGU employees. And we provide support through our managed services within our organization. Now, this leads us to our case study, all right? We want to prove to you that, we're not just talking the talk, but we can walk the walk as well. Now, a good example for a smart city is the city of Manila. Why is that? In June 2021, the city was among the 50 finalists of the Global Champion Cities in the Bloomberg Philanthropies 2021 Global Mayors Challenge, which is one of the most prestigious competitions for urban innovation for cities with a population of 100,000 plus. Manila's entry into the competition is Go Manila, which is essentially powered by Multisys, our smart LGU solution. Now, the city of Manila has the densest population in the entire NCR region, with a density of 63 square kilometers and about 1.78 million residents, and with 350,000 real property units and 60,000 business establishments that renew every year. So the numbers are really quite staggering. And imagine 90% of them, at about 369,000 individuals, will go to City Hall physically on a monthly basis, all right? Long winding processes become inevitable because apart from the sheer volumes of foot traffic, the areas of permits and other government services processing are really situated in distant locations. So time spent on queuing is a lot without a unidirectional procedure. So the solution, Go Manila. Now, good thing that digital transformation has been at the heart of our local leaders. So as an example, we partnered with the City of Manila during the time of Mayor Isko Moreno. His first act as Manila's 27th mayor was to support automation of the city's processes and accelerate digitally driven data gathering and introduce technological advancements across all government streams. Then, the city tapped Multisys to employ our smart LGU solution to develop Go Manila. Now, through the app, the city's constituents, even OFWs and taxpayers abroad, have the option to transact and pay their real property tax and business taxes at the comfort of their own homes, offices, etc., with portable access using mobile phones. And I think this is a very important issue because a lot of OFWs complain about remitting money back home and the money doesn't go to the correct places where it's supposed to go. So this ensures direct payment to the liabilities they need to be addressed. And with the Smart LGU solution at the heart of Go Manila, the city was able to make the lives of its constituents even more convenient with much lesser processing time for various government services. So this is a great fact here, guys. From a consolidated 11,370 minutes allotted for travel time, processing of statement of accounts, payments, and issuance of documents, we cut that down to just about 3,000 minutes all in all. So no lines, no traffic to think about, all the pain points that you guys had experienced in the past, doing this on your own, and most importantly, no bureaucracy and no red tape. And from the 185 monthly transactions settled, the city was able to serve more people with over 15,000 transactions from its Go Manila app in 2020 to October 2021. Now that is as much as 30% of Manila's total population already using Go Manila. Total transactions leading to this month is already ballooned to almost 475,000. So the numbers are there, the numbers are staggering, and it's proven to be working successfully. Now, before I end my presentation, allow me to reiterate the fact that it's really important to have that citizen participation. So when an LGU embarks on its digitalization journey, we need to ensure that everybody's game. Right. Remember, it's not just about how citizens benefit from the services that the government provides, but a key element of the smart city is everybody's onboarding and participation. So while technologies are there to improve things, we still need to educate and empower the transacting public, and of course, its future generations. We need to create sustainability. Good thing we already have a good head start because a lot of Filipinos are already very, very digitally native and savvy and have adapted to these technologies, especially during the pandemic. I think that basically amplified everything. And another key aspect of this is data as well. Data is the new dollar, right? So the more the citizens use this technology, the more data the LGU gets, and the more empowered they are to assess and address the needs of their constituents. And we also like to acknowledge the telco infrastructure of PLDT to be able to help enhance these initiatives. And of course, with education, we need to promote the use of our systems and technologies. And I guess one way I'd like to end this is, ultimately, the citizens are the ones that create the city, not the other way around. Right? So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I hope this was an insightful discussion and conversation. Feel free to scan the QR code and contact me. My teammates as well are here, and you can visit our booth if you have any further questions. And we'd love to get your LGUs onboarded as soon as possible. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Victor. Now, after understanding the cost and appreciating the benefits of smart cities, we will now learn more about the infrastructure, platforms, and applications for smart cities. And providing us with an overview of the products, solutions, and services required to build a smart city, we have the Marketing Director of FiberHome, Musa.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Musa from FiberHome. And before I start my presentation, I would like to thank PLDT to create a so fantastic stage to share our solution and exchange our opinion about the smart city. And the most appreciate of the Mr. Wins, where is him now? He gave me many suggestions and make this presentation come true. So today, my topic here is why and how to build a smart city from a communications perspective. So just for a few minutes, it's not very easy to tell about the details about the smart city. But now, today, I just want to use few keywords to let you know what is the smart city and what the FiberHome can do with this smart city project. The first project, the first keyword is about life. So let's see the picture here. We will see some global consult company, that is IMD and the SCO and the SUTD. He gives some list of the indicators of the smart city. For example, recycling, school education, public transport, all these indicators is just to care about the life who lived in this city. And fortunately, in the Philippines, our government issued the ambition netting 2040. That is Mantatag, Maginhava, and Panatag. Hopefully my Tagalog is right. Okay. So just use these three Tagalog words to let you know what is a smart city we need concern. That is the work-life balance and free from hunger and poverty and enough resource to day-to-day needs and in unexpected expense and saving. And this is the industrial what we concerned, including the house, the house and urban development and manufacturing, transport system, agriculture, education services, and tourism and allied services, and health and wellness services. This is what the DICT leader just now said about the LGU, iHealth, iSchool, like this. So also this is the FiberHome's purpose to do the smart city project, to let the life is built, is happy and bright. So smart city is the best way to construction about this life for the people, but it's a complex project to do the smart city. So before that, we should have the concept. So what is a smart city like before? So here, FiberHome issued that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to N. The 1 means the one city brain. This is the uniform platform to control and management our system. And the 2 means the basic networks include the basic communication network and the ubiquitous perception network. And we also built 3 element centers. That is design command center, cloud data center, and the disaster recovery and backup center to make the system strong and reliability. And we also create 4 enablement platform that is include the intelligent middle office and big data platform, cloud computing platform, and the spatial temporal information platform. So based on the 1, 2, 3, 4 technical based, we will support N smart applications. That is, for example, the government and the enterprise application, and the livelihood application, and the social governance. So we will make the city will be intelligent connect, intelligent digital, intelligent share, intelligent management, and intelligent creating. So if we want to turn the concept into reality, so we must need the technology. So the third keyword is the technology. So let's see what technology we should have. So this is our FiberHome Smart City system architecture. We divide the system into three layers. In the basic layer, In the basic layer, we install the terminals and sensors, also our smart pole, to connect with the world and touch the world and get the data from the world. And use this network, private network, internet, or the IoT network, to send the data to our platform. And this is our data center and disaster recovery-based data center. In this platform, we will, according to the different applications, to process the data and collect the data and send the data to our different applications. So here is our applications here, including intelligent manufacturing and transport and travel, smart tourism and smart agriculture, smart education, smart medical. And for example, here, if we want to build a safe city, so we will divide to 3 levels. The first level is the border control inspection, including the highway, the airport, the station. And the level 2, we will do the road control. This is a record of movement of objects on the road, including the crossroad, sidewalk, and the square. And then in the level 3, we will make the key area control, and this is including the hospital and the school and the bank as well. So the technology is very huge and include like the AI, like the big data, like the cloud computing. So this can be controlled by one company. So the next key point is cooperation. Here we can see there is 3 levels what we have here for the infrastructure and the platform and the application. Infrastructure, we have the PLDT, Globe, Lito, Verti, Cisco, Huawei, and FiberHome. If I lost some vendor here, please inform me. I will do homework next year. Okay. And platform, we have the Google, Ali, Microsoft, and the application is Grab, Dahua, Hikvision, like this. So that is mean if we want to create the smart city and sharing and the win-win health cloud ecology, that is mean we should do this cooperation. So FiberHome is open and share and collaboration with the operator and the industry partner. So we supply the different level of the cooperation, and we supply the product level and the solution level and the services cooperation, and also FiberHome can supply the full turnkey project. So the last keyword is FiberHome. So let's see what FiberHome can do. The first thing I want to see, FiberHome also is one of the leader of the smart city area. Here is some samples what we have raised our ITUT samples of the specification, and we create the tens of technical reports and the technical specifications for some something like the ITU and the IEEE like this. So select cooperation with FiberHome is not only just to select the production company, but also the more is selected the standard for smart city. And also, our FiberHome also have some key capability of production. The first one is the cost-efficient passive optical network. We call it POL. This is use the fiber to create the network in the campus, in the government, in the city. Yeah. So the second I want to emphasize is the green energy data center. And because if we want to make a smart city, the data center is necessary. So this is also our key production of this of the data center, and also smart city operation and management platform. So that is mean FiberHome can make the one-stop solution services for ICT investment and construction. So let's see some case study in the globe of the world. The first one is the Kenya Emergency Command Center. We call it Safe City in the Kenya. So this is what we supply for this city. More 50 agents, and in Mombasa is 50 agents. This is a 2 redundancy data center. And more than 7,000 terminals, more than 2,000 cameras, and 200 plus ANPR. So the key point here is the crime rate is decreased for 46%, and so the tourism and the GDP is increased by 5.8 and 14%. And this is our smart pole project in China. This is our first turnkey project with 5,000 smart poles in the Wuhan city since 2019. And this is our cloud, Chutian cloud in the Wuhan, in the Hubei province. It carries out 330 application systems and share the data with the government, for example, population, legal person, space, geography, like this. The left picture is our cloud data center and the command center in the Wuhan. And the right hand is what the technology we used for IoT, AI, smart city, 5G, and extra. So in future, we hope to cooperation with our partner and our operators, and even cooperation with our competitor to make a bright and green and safe city in the Philippines. Thank you. That's all. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Musa. Now, wrapping up the series of talks that we have today on building a digital nation, we now make way for our next session on infrastructure platforms and applications for smart cities. So to discuss this further, let me call on the Industry Business Consulting Lead for Smart Cities and Local Government Units of the PLDT Enterprise, Vince R. Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the guy who stands between you and lunch. But can you join me and give me a round of applause to make sure you're still there? Thank you very much. The Honorable Mayor of the City of Pasay, Mayor Emily Calixto-Rubiano, the Honorable Governor of the Province of Cavite, Governor Jonvic Remulla, the Honorable Mayor of the City of Baguio, who joined us via Zoom, Mayor Benjie Magalong, Department of Information and Communications Technology Undersecretary Dave Almirol, one of my mentors, Executive Vice President and Chief Innovation and Inclusion Officer, Rizal Banking Corporation, and Chairman of the Alliance of Digital Banks, Mr. Lito Villanueva, Multisys President and CEO, Victor Aliwalas, distinguished guests from the local government units, sponsors, partners, my fellow speakers, Musa, Marketing Manager, FiberHome. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Growing up in the 1970s, technology was not yet as pervasive as it was today. So most of our activities, if you remember, were done outdoors. One of those activities was camping. Now, as a Cub Scout, we were taught early on that if you want to eat a hot meal, you must first learn how to build a fire. And building a fire required gathering wood and laying a basic foundation of that wood on the ground. Now, applying that to this morning's session, if we want to reach our dreams of building a digital nation, we must first lay the basic technological and digital foundations, one smart city at a time. Foundation number one, A smart city must have strong, steady, readily available, and secured internet broadband connections. Now, PLDT Enterprise, through our Managed Broadband Network Solution, or MBNS, provides this strong, readily available, and secured internet and broadband connections to support smart cities on a provincial, city, municipal, and barangay level through network and telecommunications infrastructure. And what it does is it connects your provincial and municipal halls. It connects your command centers. It connects your public hospitals, your public schools, your public markets, and your emergency response centers, and other public service institutions which deliver basic government services. This is done through a combination of our fixed, wireless data center and cloud solutions. A smart city is a connected city, and a connected city is composed of connected individuals. Once the PLDT Managed Broadband Network Solution is in place, MBNS will also allow local government units to manage a shared, distributed, and private network and provide free Wi-Fi to its citizens. Number two, foundation number two, a smart city must promote ease of doing business. Now, digitalizing basic government services promotes ease of doing business for smart cities. PLDT Enterprise, through our software and IT solutions provider affiliate, Multisys Technologies, promotes this ease of doing business in support of the Department of Trade and Industry and Secretary Alfredo Pascual's Anti-Red Tape Advisory Council's initiatives. This urges local government units to shift from manual to digital processes and streamline government operations to eliminate corruption, to promote good governance, and to improve competitiveness and create a local business government that is conducive to foreign direct investments. Now, the Multisys Smart LGU solution provides a centralized, connected, and interoperable infrastructure, applications, and platforms for smart cities by shifting the processing of basic government services such as business permits, mayor's permits, real property taxes, business taxes, cedula, civil registries, occupational permits, health certificates, notices, and ordinances with e-payment features and functionalities via a one-stop shop portal. Foundation number three, a smart city must offer fast, easy, secured, and safe digital payment transactions. PLDT Enterprise, through its financial technology arm or fintech affiliate Voyager Innovations, provides this fast, easy, secured, and safe digital disbursements and collections via the Maya Disbursements Portal, the Maya Identification Card, the Maya Remittance Center, the Maya Consumer Application, and of course, the Maya Digital Banking Application. These help facilitate not only government to business, but government to person transactions anytime, anywhere, and on any device. So remember, when it comes to fast, easy, safe, and secured digital payment transactions, don't pay cash, pay Maya. Foundation number four, a smart city must provide safety and security to its citizens through the use of technology. As we discussed earlier, once the MBNS or Managed Broadband Network Solution is in place, we work with our different systems integrators and security and surveillance providers, such as FiberHome and Beyond Sight, to provide connected provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays with this integrated operations center and command center. This monitors, enforces, and ensures the security of institutions, businesses, groups, and individuals through traffic management, while at the same time providing a new revenue stream through public management. Likewise, PLDT Enterprise, through its fixed arm and wireless fixed arm PLDT and wireless arm Smart and ICT arm ePLDT, provides an emergency hotline to connect the citizens of a city, province, municipality, or barangay to the appropriate emergency response teams depending on their specific need, whether this be to the local hospital, local police station, local fire department, the local disaster risk reduction and management office via a one-number, centralized, unlimited, unified communication system. Foundation number 5, a smart city must be able to provide its citizens both electronically and digitally with basic healthcare services. Oh, excuse me. Can someone please help me call the medic downstairs? Wait, you know what? Never mind. Because with the fully integrated health application, I knew that would get your attention. Are you guys still with me? Thank you. Because PLDT Enterprise, through its health application, MWell, provides a 24/7 emergency medical consultation and home medical services right at the palm of your hands. So go to your Google App Store or your local iOS Apple Store and download the MWell app now. Health, after all, is wealth. So it's important to make sure that as smart citizens, that we are well, that you're well, and that am well. There you go. So, next, PLDT Enterprise has the fiber facilities to connect smart cities. As of June 2022, PLDT has an expanded fiber footprint of 837,900 kilometers, bringing the power of fiber for the first time to the islands of Bantayan Islands and Camotes Island in Cebu, Siargao and Socorro in Siargao del Norte, Dinagat Island and Burias Island in Masbate, Lubang Island in Occidental Mindoro, and the Seminary Island in Antique. Likewise, PLDT's fixed fiber facilities also supports our smart mobile network, which currently has 76,600 total base stations, including 7,300 base stations on 5G. This puts our smart 3G network and 4G LTE population coverage at 97% and our smart 5G population coverage at 66%. Now, as we say in the Olympics, Citius, Altius, Fortius, or higher, faster, stronger. Therefore, PLDT Enterprise also has the fiber facilities to support smart buildings through the activation of our network access points, covering the ground floor, second floor, and the entire building in both breadth and depth. PLDT Enterprise continues to invest in new international cable facilities to connect smart cities both locally and internationally. PLDT Enterprise has the nationwide network to support smart cities as we continue to expand this network. The latest PLDT US Trans-Pacific Jupiter cable system greatly boosts our extensive fiber network capability, providing greater capacity in multiple terabits per second to customers, as well as cable diversity to provide the ability to reroute traffic in the event of undersea cable cuts. Jupiter is anticipated to increase PLDT's international capacity by 40 terabits to a total of 60 terabits per second to the US and Japan to meet the ever-growing demand for digital services. The PLDT Group the PLDT Group is also doing its part to promote environmental and social governance initiatives as part of doing business responsibly and, wait for it, smartly. The PLDT Group enables the creation of smart cities through environmental and social and governance initiatives. These initiatives are in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and support the direction set by His Excellency, our President Ferdinand E. Marcos Jr., for the need for rapid adoption and propagation of universal connectivity, financial inclusion, and transformation into an active bureaucracy that is responsive to the needs of the public, especially our countrymen who are isolated and in disadvantaged areas of the country. Count on us to be boundless in providing beyond access products, solutions, and services to hyperscalers as well as small and micro enterprise corporations, small and medium enterprises through our PLDT cloud and data center services. PLDT Enterprise and its affiliates deliver boundless products, solutions, and services. We are part of a diversified conglomerate which cuts across several industry verticals, spanning from energy, water, healthcare, logistics, television, digital payments, digital banking, software and systems integration, and likewise, PLDT is the leading, fully integrated telecommunications company in terms of market share, with 71 million mobile subscribers, 7.6 million broadband and fixed line subscribers, and 79 million enterprise subscribers across all business segments. Lastly, at the heart of every smart and robust, scalable, and secure data center, at the heart of every small and smart city is a robust, scalable, and secure data center. PLDT has 62% market share in the data center market, with 10 purposely built data centers in Makati, Pasig, Taguig, Parañaque, Subic, Cebu, and Davao. Come 2023, PLDT Enterprise will again push the bounds by building our 11th Vitra hyperscaler data center just south of the Greater Metro Manila area. Likewise, in full consideration of our sustainable development goals, our new ePLDT hyperscaler data center, through our energy power affiliate Meralco, will enable the use of 20% renewable energy upon launch date, and is likewise LEED certified. In closing, a smart city is not a solution. A smart city is a lifestyle, because everything we do for the benefit of our province, city, municipality, and barangay, we do this ultimately for the welfare of our citizens through the enabling power of technology. This has been Vince Rodriguez of PLDT Enterprise, inviting you guys to all take the next step in becoming a smart city. Be brave, be bound, be boundless. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vince. You almost gave us a heart attack in the middle of all that. At this point, we are now ready to gain more practical takeaways from our speakers as we facilitate the panel discussion. So joining us back on stage for an exchange of ideas, of course, we have with us Multisys Technologies Corporation, Victor Aliwalas. CEO, of course. Next, we have Musa, Marketing Director of FiberHome. And then we have Vince Rodriguez, Industry Business Consulting Lead for Smart Cities and Local Government Units for Enterprise Digital Solutions, PLDT Enterprise. We also have with us Simon Rizcala, Senior Sales Director of Cisco, IoT APJC Cisco, and Anton Andres, Solutions Manager, Enterprise Mobility of Samsung, as well as Dennis Magbatok, Assistant Vice President and CRM Head, Regional Luzon and GMM LGU PLDT Enterprise. So if we could give our panelists right now a round of applause, please. So let's start off our questions, and this is for Victor. And the question is, a smart city relies on smart legislation. How does Multisys Smart LGU solution support Republic Act 1103, or ease of doing business, through the Multisys Smart LGU solution?
Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate it. In all honesty, I think it doesn't really support it. It's the basis as to why that whole situation came about. right? I think the fact that we're able to digitize, expedite, create efficiencies, that's basically the whole concept of the ease of doing business. So again, I'd like to refer back to some of the data that we stated before, just the amount of time that it's saved with the government processes. It went from 11,370 minutes sitting in traffic, waiting in line, waiting for days for the statement of accounts versus now 3,000 minutes. So it's not the support, the ease of doing business. The ease of doing business is the reason why Smart LG was created.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Now we move on to a question from Musa. Now,
Okay.
hello. A smart city relies on an intersection of products, processes, as well as people. Now, how can FiberHome's products, solutions, and services address these three key areas?
Okay. This is a good question. Thank you for questioning me here. So, as I mentioned just now, FiberHome also can supply our own core production, such as the server, the cloud data center, and also we have the cloud. So that production is the basic of the smart city. And for other vendor, we can cooperation with each other to supply the whole solution. This is a one end-to-end solution from the terminal and to the platform and to the applications. And for the process, FiberHome has many experience what we have done in China or in other countries. So, and we have the local team here to ensure our project can be end-to-end to ensure our project to be deployment for our customers. So I think FiberHome can do this smart city project in future smoothly, and hopefully we can cooperation of vendor and other partner together to help smart city will be deployment in Philippines quickly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now this question is for Vince. A smart city is a connected city, and a connected city relies on strong, fast, steady, and secured fiber optic internet connections. How ready is PLDT Enterprise to support the growth of smart cities in the Philippines?
Thank you for that question. As we showed earlier, PLDT has the most extensive fiber network in the country. And this fiber network not only supports our fixed lines, but our wireless lines as well as our data center and cloud operations. Now, how ready are we to support smart cities? That question can actually be answered by the fact we are very deliberate in working with the LGUs in identifying where their plans lie in the next 1, 2, 3 years, and overlaying those plans with our fiber facilities and working with them to improve our connectivity in areas that they want to focus on. So we are very proactive in working with this, and in one word, we're boundless in our support.
Very in time with our theme. Thank you so much. Next is for Dennis. This question is, the smart city example given by Governor Remulla and Vince used the provincial government of Cavite as an example of the PLDT managed broadband network solutions, or MBNS. Can the MBNS be implemented for larger cities or smaller cities?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. My simple and plain answer is yes. Managed broadband network service is size agnostic. It can equally support and serve a province, a city, or even a municipality. For as long as there's a PLDT fiber footprint in an LGU, this managed network service can be implemented and even completed in a calculated timeline. What's interesting with what we have implemented in the province of Cavite, with the sheer scope and size, it is very obvious that we can replicate it again in any province, in any city, or even in any municipality. And another item to that is we can actually implement it in a per phase project, thus giving the budget allocation more manageable to the LGU. Thank you.
Thank you. So absolutely yes. Our next question is for Simon. What would the best phased approach in building a smart city be?
Thanks for that. Really appreciate it. So I think smart cities, as you saw from many of today's presentations, are quite complex. They're not easy. They require a lot of input from a lot of variable assets that have been deployed across the infrastructure. And to bring that in a cohesive manner is quite complex. So what we try and look at is what are some of the low-hanging fruits that we can address immediately, whether it's from a communications perspective or a infrastructure perspective. And I think some of the things we see across the globe are, for example, picking off areas that don't require large ecosystems to be built and large partnerships to be built, and that can be done seamlessly with flawless execution. These exist around substations for power utilities within a specific geographical area, high-speed rail or rail services that could be done, intelligent rail. And this requires a small set of partners that can work together but can execute and provide the return on investment that the city is actually looking for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next question goes to Anton Andres, and it says smart cities rely on smart ecosystems to be in place. So what compromises a typical ecosystem of a smart city? Where does Samsung play in the ecosystem?
Thank you for the question. Okay, so I'd like to tackle both items in a single statement in the interest of time. So when it comes to Samsung, of course, we are well known and arguably well loved in our home appliances and mobile devices. So the same thrust with most of our speakers would be the thrust of Samsung as well. When it comes to implementing a smart home setup, sorry, a smart city setup, we do want to start with the home. So smart home has been Samsung's thrust for the past few years. We have deployed smarter devices, smarter endpoints, but we don't want to end there. Of course, in partnership and collaboration with PLDT and Smart, they provide fast and secure connectivity. We want to ensure that we can also provide our subscribers and our clients with fast and secure endpoints. So Samsung Knox has been in the market since 2013, and we have extended this even to our home appliances. So recently, we launched Knox Matrix. So this is an application that leverages on blockchain technology on a smaller scale. So it aims to secure our home appliances and interconnect them with our mobile phones. So eventually, we do expect this to branch out into a smart city setup as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it looks like that is the last question that we have for our panelists for this discussion. So if we could please give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for being so generous, of course, with your time as well as your insights on such a timely topic. But of course, before we wrap this up, if we could please have a group photo.
Right. Stand up. Stand up. Okay.
So again, we are wrapping up our panel discussion, and we are winding down as well with today's session. We still have a session later on this afternoon, but of course during your break, we are inviting all of you to fill out those feedback forms. Submit it please so you could join the raffle, and check out our booth sponsors as well outside. Again, this is during our break. Thank you so much. A round of applause once again please to our panelists. Thank you for being here with us today to share your insights. Of course, that was moving forward, Victor Aliwalas, Musa, and of course we have Vincent Rodriguez, Simon Rizcala, Anton Andres, and Dennis Magbato. So that wraps up our second session for track 2 of the Tech Leadership Forum. We are going to pause for a break, but we will reconvene later, if I'm not mistaken, at 1:30 p.m. for our last session for today, which is Sulong MSMEs into the Digital Nation. That is still going to be right here at Marriott Grand Ballroom B. And of course, we would like to thank our official event partners, our co-presenter of FiberHome, our sponsors as well. So again, our official event hashtag is PHDigicon 2022. So for all your posts about this event, make sure to use that. Very important, I already reminded you guys about the feedback form. Please fill it up. And then our sponsor booths will remain open for your enjoyment. So again, my name is Honey Obusan. Enjoy your break. Scrap the 1:30 and instead we will see you in just a little bit for our last session.